and welcome to Fraud Busting NeoFraus Podcast. It is the only podcast for female fraud professionals and their allies who want to stay on top of the fraud awareness spectrum in order to thrive professionally while maximizing their happiness and having the courage to create the life they love. Thank you for listening.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this new episode of the NeoFraus Podcast. I am Olga, and I'll be your host today. I would like to introduce to the audience our special guest for the episode. This is Traci Brown. And without any further ado, I'd like to give Tracy the floor to briefly introduce herself to the audience. Hi, Tracy.
Hello, thanks for having me.
It's my absolute pleasure. Tracy, I have been amazed with your background in the topic that you specialize in, and I'd like you to talk a little bit about that, about your background to the audience.
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, remember, you have a bunch of it there written for you, so don't be afraid to chime in. I am a body language expert. I'm ranked number 3 in the world, and my job is to help people learn how to spot deception hidden in plain sight.
Wonderful. Absolutely amazing. And I'm excited to have our conversation today. So I'd like to ask you this question. Now, everyone knows that business has to be done more efficiently, most of the time since the recession, especially. So how can lie, one second, how can lie detection, accelerate business results? How can financial planners specifically use this info through detection of lie?
Well, really what we're trying to do here is create a situation where you can inform your most important decisions. And lie detection isn't always about creating these gotcha moments. It's about using information that's previously been hidden in plain sight so that you can make different decisions, right? And because you know that there's more information available. So that's what I help people learn to do.
Thank you so much for this expert advice. And let me ask the next question. You work on all kinds of investigation, and you're helping financial institutions, sector, and also insurance groups spotlights, so that they could prevent fraud. So what could be the some of the easy ways that anyone can use, some of possibly tools to find the lies and stop losses in their life?
Well, you really want to look for mismatches between the body language and the words, right? And that comes about because when we start using our conscious mind as opposed like most time with what we do and what we say, it's part of our memory. It's unconscious. It's not anything we have to think about. When you start having to think about it using the more developed part of our brain, our brain gets into what's called cognitive overload, and something has to be sacrificed. And what is one of the first things on the list on the chopping block is your body language, and your communication in general will start to deviate just a little bit from your normal patterns. And so when you see, for instance, a head nod, like this is yes for most people, and they shake your head left to right, that's no. When they say something like, I would never do that, and then nod their head yes, well, it's not always, but it can be a sign to say, wait a minute, something's not right here. Something's going on. The body language doesn't match up.
That's wonderful and absolutely interesting to learn from you. My next question for you is the body language the same for big and small lies?
Well, the smaller lies put less stress on the system, right? Because really, we're to call something an absolute sign of deception isn't true. It is a sign of stress, and stress and deception is often connected for people who are not psychopaths. Right? So what we're looking for is going to be diminished on a small lie where there's less consequence, right? Less stress. But generally, yes, the signs are the same.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, absolutely incredible to learn these interesting informations from you. My next question is, how can we start to use this information, for example, in a work environment to get real answers we need out of customers and perhaps coworkers?
Well, yeah, the key to use this information is to pay attention, because most of us are not paying enough attention. Like we're barely paying attention to ourselves, and certainly not paying attention to what goes on outside of us. And so the key is to pay attention and not rationalize away the what we see in the moment. And reading body language is it's really an intricate dance between body language, tone, and words, and also the context of the situation. And so what's easy to do is rationalize away the things that we see, like, oh, he didn't really mean that. Yes, he did. Okay, yes, he did. And it's up to you to start to figure out what that means for you and how you want to handle that situation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Tracy. I'm sure the audience will enjoy learning from your tips and expert advice regarding this. And next, I'd like to really learn how can we use body language to further understand what people are really thinking and impact the bottom line.
Well, it doesn't deviate too much from what I just said previously, but when you can inform your decisions, when you understand, like, where is their silent disagreement, where do they agree with you, when are they ready to sign the deal, do you need to keep selling even? Because a lot of times you don't, you got them, all you got to do is close the deal. Other times you need to know when maybe you're working with a group of people and there's one bad apple who's going to spoil the bunch. Like, you need to know that as well. You need to know who the real decision maker is. And these are some of the things that body language will tell you. Again, if you pay attention and you don't rationalize it away.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. And I know you've written a wonderful, wonderful book. I'd like to ask this question for the audience and myself, of course. How people can get a copy of your How to Detect Lies, Fraud, and Identity Theft book?
Yeah. So yeah, How to Detect Lies, Fraud, and Identity Theft. It's available on my website, which is tracybrown.com, TRACI, tracybrown.com. And also you can get on there my online program that I have designed just for people in the fraud space to learn to spot the lies hidden right in front of them. You can get those there. You can also get it on Amazon. But and more importantly than that, hey, why not hire me for your next event, your next keynote that you need to set the tone for your event and give people some tools that they can really walk away from the event with and make an immediate impact on their investigations, on their decision making, and their personal lives, right? So you save time, money, and energy.
Thanks so much. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I will make sure to post your website and the information about the book on the page of this episode so that the listeners could receive this information for them and know how to get in touch with you in order to hire you for any speaking opportunities. I am curious to ask lastly, in your experience and in your amazing work that you do you think lies are coming up a lot in terms of, let's say, proportion of lies and non-lies in people's businesses and in lives altogether? Do you think it's
Like,
happening a lot?
is it changing? I don't think so. I think, well, here's the thing. When the economy is pretty good right now, when the economy goes down, fraud and lies go up, right? Because people are trying to protect themselves. And so is it any different from the pandemic? It's probably less than in the pandemic. However, it's, I mean, 60% of people lie on their resume, or in a job interview in a material way. And I mean, and that's just one statistic, right? So it doesn't matter if lies are up and down. They've been around for eons, right? Learning to detect lies is paramount to our survival as a species, and also your survival as a business. So don't wait, don't take it lightly, and that because it can be the difference between hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars that you can save by just paying attention differently.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thanks so much, Tracy, for providing, this information and insights. I'm sure the audience will enjoy listening to our episode. In closing, I'd like to ask you a more broad of a question. Any advice you can provide to people, and perhaps women specifically, in order how to deal with the difficulties in their life, or in their business, in their work, and remain resilient?
Well, my favorite thing is to focus on your goals, what your objective is, trust your gut, and don't rationalize yourself in your feelings away, because you have an innate knowing that will protect you.
Thank you so much, Tracy. One more time, it's been my absolute pleasure to have you as our special guest for this episode. Thank you. And thanks, everyone, for listening. Stay healthy and happy.